You crossed an ocean for this. The ticket is sitting in your phone. Kickoff is 90 minutes away, and right now, outside a stadium in Dallas or Mexico City or Toronto, a fan exactly like you is being turned around at the gate. Not because of their ticket, because of their bag. This is the part of the World Cup nobody films. Not the goals, not the flags, not the grown adult crying into a scarf at full time. The gate. The line that quietly decides whether you watch the match from your seat or from a cracked phone screen in a parking lot, next to a guy selling lukewarm hot dogs who is, frankly, having a better day than you. The rules running that line are stricter than almost anything these travelers have walked through before, and most of them won't find out until they're standing at the front of it, holding the one thing that isn't allowed in. So let me walk you through that door before you ever reach it. Start with the bag, because the bag is where most people lose, not the ticket. The bag they've carried to every stadium for 20 years without a single problem. Every venue across the United States, Canada, and Mexico runs the same clear bag policy. Clear plastic, vinyl, or PVC, no bigger than roughly 30 by 15 by 30 centimeters. That's the whole rule. The backpack you brought from home, the canvas tote you use for groceries, the padded camera bag you spent 3 months researching, the leather purse you wore to dinner last night, all of it stops cold at the gate. There's one narrow exception, a tiny clutch about the size of your hand, no wider than a paperback. Step past that, and you have two choices. Walk the bag all the way back to wherever you came from, or pay whatever the nearest storage tent decides it costs on the single busiest day of its year. Picture the math. You're an hour from kickoff. The line behind you runs 1,000 people deep. A stranger in a yellow vest is telling you your bag doesn't go in. And here's the detail that turns a bad afternoon into a genuine catastrophe. Most of these stadiums don't allow re-entry. You leave to drop the bag, you don't come back through that gate on the same ticket. There's a fan outside every one of these venues who'll call it the most expensive mistake he's made since his second wedding. He won't elaborate, he won't ask. And he'll still be standing there 20 minutes later watching the gate he can't go back through. So you buy the clear bag now, weeks early, pack it the night before, and never think about it again. Now the item's inside. This is where the clever travelers get caught because they prepared for a normal stadium. This is not a normal stadium. Sunscreen first. Obvious, right? July, open concrete, the sun straight overhead for 3 hours. You reach for the spray can, stop. Aerosols and spray cans are prohibited, full stop. Lotion goes in clean. The spray gets pulled at the inspection table, and you spend the next 3 hours developing a sunburn your friends back home will describe generously as a bold look. The lotion. Always the lotion. Your power bank. You need one, because your ticket lives inside your phone, and a dead phone is a dead ticket. And a dead ticket is a very long story about a very bad day. But there's a size ceiling. One per person. Nothing larger than about 12 by 17 centimeters. Bring the slim one that disappears into a pocket. Leave the camping brick at home, the one that could theoretically charge a small village. Security will lift it straight out of your bag, because a hot battery in a crowd of 80,000 is a fire risk, and they treat it that way. The camera. If you packed the real one, the body with the long lens, the kit that cost more than your flight, this is the quiet heartbreak. Professional gear, tripods, monopods, selfie sticks, none of it crosses the line. Your phone shoots the entire tournament. Nothing else gets through, and no amount of explaining at the gate changes that. Every gate has a version of the same scene. A man spending 11 minutes arguing the point with a guard while an increasingly irritated crowd builds behind him. He'll say he flew 9 hours. He'll say he just wanted one clean photo of his kid's first match. None of it moves the line. He loses. The crowd is not kind, and the look on his face as he carries the camera back toward the parking lot is the exact look this whole guide exists to spare you. Then the things people forget they're even carrying. Umbrellas of any size, even where the roof closes over your head. Lighters. A small pocket knife clipped inside a day pack since a hiking trip 3 months ago. Forgotten until a guard holds it up and looks at you with the expression of someone who has seen this exact situation 400 times today. These surface in bags constantly, and when they do, the line stops dead. For you, and for everyone behind you who will make their feelings known. Here's where I hand you back some money because the stadium is very deliberately engineered to take it. Water inside runs close to $10 a bottle. That's not an accident. It's the plan. But there's a gap in the wall almost nobody walks through. You're allowed to carry water in. Not a metal flask, not a hard hydro flask or a Yeti or the Stanley Cup your coworker gave you. Those get stopped without ceremony. One empty, clear, soft plastic bottle. Walk it in dry, find a refill station inside, fill it for nothing, and you've just covered a beer, which costs $15, but that's a separate lesson. Then the part that catches even seasoned travelers flat. Cash is dead inside these walls. Fully, no exceptions. Almost every venue runs cashless now. Card or phone, tap and move. The crisp 20 in your wallet buys you nothing at any counter. A few stadiums keep a kiosk that loads your cash onto a prepaid card, but you do not want to be hunting for that one machine with a tired child asking for food, the second half underway, and the kiosk queue stretching into another time zone. Load a card into your phone before you leave the hotel. Tap, done, and the ticket itself. There's no paper version. None. It's a moving barcode living inside an app, and it has to work with no signal at all because a stadium holding 80,000 phones is a stadium with essentially no bars left for anyone. Pull the ticket up the night before. A screenshot won't save you. The turnstile doesn't read static images. It reads the live rotating code. The ticket has to be loaded and working offline. In your hand, at the gate, with the whole world pressing in behind you and a guard staring at your screen, waiting for it to do something. So here's where you're standing. A clear bag you packed the night before. Lotion, never spray. One slim charger that fits in a jacket pocket. An empty bottle waiting for a refill. A card loaded into your phone before you left the hotel. A ticket that already works without a signal because you opened it 12 hours ago, like a person who reads things. And somewhere under all that logistics, the thing you actually came for. The sound hitting you before you even see the pitch, the green of it, the 80,000 strangers who suddenly aren't strangers. You walk straight past the people still arguing at the inspection table, and there are always people arguing at the inspection table, and you keep walking through the tunnel, into the noise, into the exact thing you crossed an ocean to stand inside. But getting through that gate was never the hardest part of this trip. The hardest part started the moment you booked, when you had to decide where you'd sleep. Because